If you click this video, it's because the thumbnail said the mental barriers slowing you down. You're in the right place. This isn't a motivational talk. This is a breakdown of mental performance system every sprinter needs if you want to PR, win championships, or finally show the world what's been hiding inside of you. Today, I'm going to expose to you the internal barriers stopping you from having your speed show up and give you tactical ways to break each one. So let's get into it. My name is Lawrence Ella Johnson. I am a professional sprinter, multiple time NCAA All-American, former dual sport D1 athlete in track and football. This year I ran my first sub 10 performance, win aided sub 10 performance, and I placed ninth at the USA Championships. And every single athlete that I work with for at least 6 months has set a new personal record in at least one of their speed testing metrics on the track or an actual PR on the track, barring injury. And the first barrier is expectation because it crushes more sprinters than injuries ever will. And you feel it from parents, teammates, coaches, social media, your past self, your imagined future self. Because it turns sprinting into survival instead of performance. It creates tight shoulders, shallow breathing, panic at max velocity, and overthinking block your overall sprinting, choppiness in your stride. So here's a tactical truth. Your job is not to run the time you run. Your job is to execute the race that actually is in front of you. To break this barrier, you need to adopt this identity. I run free, I execute clean, and I stay present because most elite sprinters win because they're free. Free sprinters run fast, and that leads into the barrier of self-doubt. Self-doubt sounds like this. Am I built for this? What if I choke? What if I'm not improving? What if I embarrass myself? But here's the neuroscience. Self-doubt isn't a sign you're not ready. It's a sign you're entering territory where your identity hasn't caught up yet. You overcome self-doubt with evidence. And this is why every athlete I teach, this is why every athlete I coach, we track flying 10s, 30-meter sprints, your RSI, your block metrics, strength numbers, recovery scores, and sleep duration. Why? Because the nervous system trusts proof. It comes from your growth and stacking wins. That leads into chapter number 3, the barrier of comparison. Comparison is a silent cancer in sprinting. You compare warm-ups, you compare stride length, you compare training loads, you compare PRs, you compare progression rates, you compare body types, Instagram clips. But the truth is brutal, bro. Comparing yourself to someone is like disrespect to your own timeline. At Wisconsin, I watched teammates. Before I transferred to Wisconsin, at New Mexico, I watched teammates dominate while I struggled. I felt left behind, I felt forgotten, and I felt like my story was over. But here's the lesson I learned. The race is the race, and your race is yours. Your peak is yours, and your timeline is yours. So compete with the version of you from last week, not the version that somebody else has from last season. And that's the barrier of fear because most sprinters aren't afraid of racing. You're afraid of the potential consequences of not firing, looking slow, letting people down, and repeating failures or getting injured again, being exposed as not as good as you hope to be. And fear ruins mechanics, it tightens fascia, it disrupts projection, and it shortens posture, and it kills relaxation, and it destroys rhythm because you cannot sprint scared. Because scared athletes run to avoid mistakes, but confident athletes run to create performance. The reframe here is that fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means breakthrough is near. And the day I stopped sprinting careful and started sprinting fearless, my entire career shifted. That leads into the barrier of inconsistency. And this is the barrier most sprinters avoid admitting because they have inconsistencies. They want elite results with junior varsity habits. So you skip your warm-ups, you guess your recovery, you eat not like a sprinter, and you train based on how you feel. You show up late and you never track progress. And you don't sleep with intention. And this is a genetics problem. This is a standard problem. Because the fastest sprinters in the world aren't the most gifted, they're the most consistent. And consistency compounds, but inconsistency kills momentum. So when I stopped letting my emotions dictate my discipline, everything changed because champions are consistent. Champions are boring. Champions master repetition, where I was actually getting slower. My times were up and my confidence were down. People counted on me. I felt invisible. And it wasn't until I had one realization that no one was coming to save me. No one was going to tell me not to eat that extra slice of pie on Thanksgiving. There would always be another athlete, another freshman, just as hungry as I am, that might have been training longer and harder than me. Another transfer, another sprinter on the roster. And it wasn't until I took radical ownership of my development that my story was over. And that moment hurt, but it freed me. I stopped blaming coaches. I stopped blaming situations. I stopped blaming bad races. I stopped waiting for someone to believe in me. And I became my own solution through the grace of God. And that's when I started winning, because absolute ownership is the best way to control your outcome. And that leads into the next barrier, the barrier of tomorrow. And this is the most dangerous barrier I see. It's the athletes that say, I will start tomorrow. I've coached hundreds of athletes at this point, and I've trained with Olympians, record holders. We're talking about people who are the fastest to ever come from their country. And the number one trait of sprinters who never get faster is they think they have more time. I'll stretch tomorrow. I'll fix my blocks tomorrow. I'll eat better tomorrow. I'll take sprinting serious tomorrow. Tomorrow is where I will find a sprint specialist. I'll keep doing my thing. I keep doing all these random drills. I'll keep training, finding random people on YouTube, doing this, doing that. And those people have no actual proof of getting you faster. But listen to me when I say this. And that is with the most sincerity possible. Tomorrow is where your dreams go to die. I hope the people I compete against think about tomorrow, because winners don't need tomorrow. Winners start now. How do you measure how hungry somebody is? It's their sense of urgency. If you actually want to get faster and you watch this video and take absolute zero immediate action, you are a tomorrow athlete, and you are an athlete who will not achieve your goals. So here's the truth. Your mental system is the foundation of your speed system. Your mechanics matter, your strength matters, your plan matters. Your physical abilities will never fully express itself. The sprinter you want to be requires mastery of expectation, doubt, inconsistency, and the trap of tomorrow. And if you can break these mental barriers, the physical speed follows, because every PR starts in the mind way before it shows up on the clock. So if you found this video helpful, implement this stuff today. Overcome these barriers now if you want to be the 1% that actually achieve their goals. Because everybody have dreams at the end of the day. Everybody wants to win. But 1% of people are willing to prepare to win, that by the time they're on race day, the championship is already theirs. It's inevitable. But on race day, remember, everybody wants to win. So if you want to be that 1% that actually take ruthless action toward achieving their goals, you can do that by joining a free community called Sprint University, which is in the link in the description of this video. If you found this video helpful, leave a thumbs up, because I will post another video in the next 48 hours. I'll see you guys in the next video.